Hello and welcome to United Designs, a series dedicated to creating movesets for Pokemon looking to enter the arena in Pokemon Unite. For today's episode, we're talking about a fan-favorite Pokemon whose alluring design has had a rather polarizing effect on the community. While her best competitive days are behind her, she's got the potential to be a real threat on Eos Island. Lopunny. Lopunny is a melee supporter who specializes in boosting her team's uptime, giving them distinct advantages in combat through either improving their offensive capabilities or hindering the offense of the opposing team. Thanks to this passive support style, Lopunny can essentially be described as the cheerleader of Pokemon Unite, as depending on how her player chooses to build her, she can either be a huge boost to her team's morale or a dangerous distraction to those looking for a fight. While she is a supporter, Lopunny is more than capable of fighting back, and she can even take a bit of a beating. However, Lopunny's kit is purely melee, meaning it might be difficult for her to engage attackers, especially ones that excel at dealing damage from long range like Duraludon or Decidueye. As a result, it's best to always travel with a teammate, be it the team tank or your team's main damage dealer, and let them move in first so you can engage safely. Lopunny will start each fight as Buneary, and will evolve into Lopunny once she hits level 4. Buneary and Lopunny will share the same ability, although their basic attack effects will be different from one another. Both of these effects will work directly in tandem with their ability, although their playstyles will vary drastically thanks to this difference. Buneary and Lopunny's ability is Limber, this unique utility option granting both Pokemon a small burst of speed if they take damage from any source, all while granting them temporary immunity to any moves that lower movement speed. Once the speed burst ends, the ability will go on cooldown and will not activate again for 5 seconds, although the ability's built-in resistance to slows and paralysis will remain active at all times. With this combination of utility, both Buneary and Lopunny can effectively escape from a potential gank situation and be given enough time to regroup with their team, although Lopunny is capable of utilizing this speed boost in different ways thanks to her unique basic attack effect. Speaking of which, where Lopunny's options are designed to encourage a playstyle that's more about being on the front line and actively engaging in a fight, Buneary by contrast lacks her evolution's CC options and is more based around dealing small bursts of damage and then creating distance from her target. And thankfully, her basic attack helps her perform this playstyle admirably. Every 3 attacks, Buneary will perform a boosted basic attack that will have her bound into her opponent, dealing extra damage and having her fly backwards a considerable distance, creating some space between her opponent and allowing for Buneary to run away from a potential counterattack. Of course, well-timed dash or range specials can punish this distance, but if this activates Limber, there's little any opponent can do to stop Buneary from running back to her team. As for Lopunny, she will also perform a boosted basic attack every 3 attacks, which will have her bound into her opponent in order to deal extra damage, but instead of flying backwards, she will release a burst of hearts on hit. This will inflict the opponent with a debuff, slowing down their movement speed considerably, but this slow will only activate if the opponent tries to move away from Lopunny. This is Lopunny's greatest strength in a team fight, for if she gets jumped by the enemy team's speedster, she can effectively cut off their ability to disengage and leave them wide open to punishment from her teammates. However, since the enemy Pokemon doesn't lose any speed when they move towards Lopunny, this utility doesn't work when she's trying to run away, so if Limber is on cooldown, you might be forced to accept your fate. When starting as Buneary, the player will have access to both Pound and Baton Pass, with Pound upgrading at level 6, while Baton Pass will be upgraded at level 4 when Buneary evolves into Lopunny. Pound is a standard melee attack that will have Buneary strike her opponent with a powerful single-arm blow, dealing solid damage and increasing her defense for a short time. While it's a mostly unremarkable early game attack, this move's short cooldown allows for Buneary to potentially keep up the defensive buff indefinitely. As for Pound's upgrades, the player will gain access to either Teeter Dance or Bounce once they've hit level 6. These specials are designed to be Lopunny's main form of crowd control, with one option designed to give her team an advantage while they're already in control of an objective, while the other is designed to help her team push in on objectives and help confirm important kills. Teeter Dance is an area-affecting hindrance special that will have Lopunny break into a dance, striking several poses in a sequence while releasing a wave of energy each time she changes her pose. These energy waves will damage and push back enemy Pokemon on hit, while the final wave will deal extra damage and stun all targets in its area of effect. Teeter Dance must be channeled in order to keep it active, meaning that Lopunny is locked in place while attacking. As a result, placement is very important and can be the difference between being a helpful teammate and being an easy target. Upgrading at level 12, Teeter Dance will release 2 extra waves of damage, all while they gain the ability to decrease the movement speed of opposing Pokemon. Bounce is a highly mobile hindrance special that will have Lopunny leap up into the air, becoming unstoppable before performing a diving kick in a location chosen by the player. This diving kick will damage all opposing Pokemon in its area of effect, all while stunning and paralyzing them in the process. While this sounds enticing, the area that Bounce affects is not that large, meaning that Lopunny will more than likely have to hit her opponent directly in order to have the attack work. But if she has a teammate behind her that can take advantage of the stun, you have nothing to worry about. Upgrading at level 12, Bounce's area of effect will be doubled, all while Lopunny's unstoppable status will linger for 0.5 seconds after the attack ends, giving Lopunny a chance to move out of danger should she miss or get jumped. Now let's talk about Baneri's other base special attack, Baton Pass. Baton Pass is a utility special that will have Baneri toss out a small red baton in front of herself, and once this baton comes into contact with another Pokemon, be it an enemy or an ally, Baneri will swap positions with that Pokemon. This early game ability allows for Baneri to escape from a tricky situation in tandem with her ability, or, if an opposing Pokemon is moving too close on their own, pin an enemy into a potential easy kill. As for Baton Pass's upgrades, the player will gain access to either Encore or Flatter. These are Lopunny's main support tools that will help separate her from the rest of the playable cast, with one being designed to buff her team, while the other will cripple the enemy team's most important targets. Like her crowd control, it's up to you as a player to look at your team structure and decide which one works for you. Encore is a versatile buff special that will have Lopunny perform a leaping cheer, this cheer causing a wave of confetti to emit from a teammate of your choice. When you do this, the last special move used by your teammate will be instantly reset, allowing for them to use it again immediately. As you can probably tell, this is an incredibly powerful utility when used properly, this one ability having the potential to determine whether you win or lose a team fight. It's advised that you use this ability when you're paired with huge burst damage dealers, like Cinderace or Pikachu, or a Pokemon with an immense amount of crowd control, like Blastoise or Slowbro. Upgrading at level 10, Encore's cooldown will be instantly reset if an opposing Pokemon is killed by an Encored attack, allowing for snowball potential if timed correctly. Flatter is an aggressive hindrance special that, on use, will inflict a chosen opposing Pokemon with a nasty debuff. This debuff will not only reduce the damage of their basic attacks by 15%, but when the afflicted Pokemon uses a special move, they will be briefly stunned and left wide open to damage. Thanks to this move's detrimental effects, this can either scare a potential assassin away from a team fight or help confirm a kill off an enemy with an itchy trigger finger. And if that's not enough, if an opposing Pokemon is killed while Flatter is active, the time remaining on the debuff will be subtracted from Flatter's cooldown time, allowing for Lopunny to reduce the move's recovery time by up to 75%. Upgrading at level 10, Flatter's cooldown will be reduced, allowing for Lopunny to instantly reset the move's cooldown if the player is lucky. For her Unite move, Lopunny will use her appearance to compel an opposing Pokemon to turn against their allies, fighting against their will to give your team a 1-up in a fight. This is Captivating Crush. When activated, Lopunny will leap to a chosen target, all before performing a wind-up punch, causing a wave of hearts to emit from the stricken target and putting them in a serious state of attraction. However, instead of walking towards the user like it does with Wigglytuff's ability, Lopunny's attack will cause the target to turn against their team and move towards them, attacking them with basic attacks for 4 seconds before the effect wears off. Now, the opposing team can attack the infatuated target in order to reduce the amount of time they're stuck under Lopunny's spell, but time they take to attack their own ally is time they aren't taking to attack you or your team, and you already know what that means. Lopunny will be unstoppable during the entirety of the move, although this attack can miss if her target dashes out of range during the move's startup. If this ends up happening, chances are high that Lopunny won't be walking away in one piece, if at all. It's now time to discuss Holowear, and going in tandem with her playstyle, Lopunny has been fittingly granted Cheerleader-style Lopunny. This outfit will have Lopunny don an orange and purple cheerleader's top and skirt while she gains a pair of Pokeball-styled pom-poms. These pom-poms will create purple and orange flashes during certain special moves, along with unique visual effects during her Unite move. And with that, this design is complete. I knew that I had to make the second episode of this series a big one, especially since it's following up my favorite Pokemon of all time. And while Lopunny isn't one of my favorite Pokemon, it allowed me to create a unique and fun kit based around my favorite type of team-based role. I feel Lopunny will definitely be added to this game at some point, simply because she's popular and can be used to push an absurd amount of skins. But I feel what role she'll fill is up in the air. She could be a supporter, she could be an all-rounder, hell, she could even be a speedster. But I feel the support role fits a Pokemon whose competitive days are behind her. Whatever happens, I'm sure she'll be a fun character to play as when she finally becomes playable. Anyways, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and click that little bell icon to make sure you never miss a future upload. Also, be sure to let me know what Pokemon you'd like to see enter the arena. Just be sure to keep requests civil and not let it become the entirety of the comment section. With that, I'll be seeing you later. So until then, be sure to stay safe, take care, and remember to have a good one.